Describe your thoughts on Kyle being captain, what that's going to mean for your hockey team.
It is something. I mean, it's probably the worst kept secret there was, but it's happened. It's obviously he deserves it. He's earned it. He has represented us so well in so many areas beyond what you can see. You know, behind the scenes, he's amazing. He's incredible. So yeah, it's we knew it was going to happen for a while, and I think the biggest thing. I mean, and I've spoken quite a bit how important he was to me as an interim coach. He was significant in helping us implement what needed to be implemented immediately. And my relationship developed with him fast. I got to know lots of things about him deep right away, and I saw a guy that has this deep passion for the game that needed to reconnect with that. So for me, it's pretty neat to see. We could have named him captain a long time ago, but it's way better for all our fans and people to actually see what we saw was going to happen with him. And rather than trying to appoint a guy right away, I think everybody now has seen enough of Kyle to realize that this is the right move for our organization, and that I'm real proud of. It's not like we just named him captain, because we could have done that a year ago, and I don't think it would have been right. I think that I love the way we did it, and just let everybody see our team, get to know our team, and get to know this guy, Kyle specifically, in that type of a role. So it was a bit of a wait, but it's well worth it, I believe.
How encouraged are you about seeing him out there on the ice today going like he was going?
Yeah, he is. He's in a yellow jersey, which means no contact, but I don't think that was a no contact practice for him. He's fully engaged. So, yeah, very encouraging. Obviously, he's going to, knowing him, no secret, he's going to want to play Thursday, and I'm probably going to be cautious of that based on the fact that he was still where he's at now with a yellow jersey on. But we'll cross that bridge when we have to. But very nice to see him out there. He did, by the way, want to skate last week, and we had to tell him no. So we'll still take it day by day in that little ongoing battle. He's a competitive guy.
What does it say just about the depth of leaders you're developing? Where if you named the leadership group a year ago, it might have been pretty obvious the 2 or 3 guys, but there were 6 or 7 guys who could have given names.
Well, I think what's significant here is we named a captain. And we knew we were going to do that. We knew we had the guy that we wanted. And we didn't make changes. Dahls and Zemgus were alternate captains as the season, Zemgus right away at the start of the year last year. And Dahls did an incredible job once he wore an A, starting in January, I believe it was, that we don't need to make any changes. We're not going to make a change. All we're going to do is put a C on a guy. So you couldn't possibly find a reason to demote Dahls or demote Zemgus. I mean, they're incredible guys in their own right. So then we looked and said, okay, we have this next group of guys that clearly are leaders for us, and their capability in that role of leadership is growing. And quite honestly, that next group of guys, it would be a burden for them to be a captain right now, in my opinion, in the sense it might deter from their growth and their potential that we're so positively confident that they have. So to appoint another guy, captain's not an easy job. You have to get in people's face. And when you do that, they get pissed at you. And so for younger guys or guys that still have so much growth potential, that's a burden you just don't want to put on somebody. The 3 guys we have no problem with that. It's not going to affect them. They're not going to take it personal when the guy's grumpy next to them. And they have a whole nother level of respect that they can do that. So I think it's all good, and we really want to protect that next group of guys that we know are our leaders themselves. So let them play hockey.
At locker room cleanout, Darlene said that last season he's grown in more ways than he could have counted, and the conversation remains around this atmosphere that you guys foster, letting guys be themselves, blossom, be comfortable in their skin. How have you seen him take leadership steps?
He, as I've just mentioned, Rachel, he is not afraid to call his teammate out. And I think one of you guys pointed it out last week in practice. He went at somebody in practice. And so he doesn't just say it, he walks it. And he's a guy that's been targeted from day one. I mean, the pressure he's had, #1 pick overall coming into our franchise, and the burden there or the challenge there of high expectations, and then the challenge of every other team that plays us try to run over Darlene. And he's had to deal with that more than any other guy in the locker room, and he's handled all of that. And he has no problem challenging his teammates, and it's not going to take away from him. And again, when you appoint captains, there is a major burden that comes with that. And so you need guys that burden that they're going to bear doesn't distract them from maybe even enjoying the game themselves. So Dolls has really grown in that area. He's very comfortable with that, and we saw that last year. Really, the continuing growth of that last year.
But when you gave him an A last year, even though you could tell he just thought it was the greatest thing, it was such an honor. I mean, could you sense that he took it to heart what you were giving him when you gave him that letter?
Yeah, he's a very serious guy, and he even when we talked about contracts last year, he's like, I want to be in Buffalo. This is where he wants to be. He wants this franchise to win. So he gets it, despite all the stuff I mentioned about the pressure on him and demand on him, he plays to win, period. And that's really impressive for a guy his age. So yeah, he's just, I mean, of course, then when you have an organization appoint him in that, or a coach, that's a big boost for him, because it sort of signifies the recognition from the coaching and the ownership and the management, Kevin as well, that hey, we see this in you. So yeah, it is and was a boost to him.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, Tom.
Yep.